I'm obsessed with the beach. People that can't swim but always go out in the water and then get sucked into the ocean. It always happens. You know you can't swim. Stay over here. Or put some arm floaties on. It happens so much that we need lifeguards. Your life needs to be guarded. I used to be a lifeguard. And I'll be honest. You out there doing stupid shit, I'd sit right in my chair. See? See? Fucked around and found out, huh? Shit. I just ate. Look at him. Flopping. LeBron! Getting that swimming lesson after all, huh? Paddle. You'll get it. I lived in Jersey while I was a kid. So as a family, we'd love to go to Atlantic City. Go fishing on the boardwalk. Under the boardwalk. Remember that song? Under the boardwalk. Under the boardwalk. I've been there. You know what's under the boardwalk? Hobo sex. That's why the ocean water's salty. Plus, that'll probably mess up the song. Under the boardwalk. Hobo sex under the boardwalk. Doesn't have that same ring to it, does it?
Okay, I'm doing this. I'm writing my nice commie bit about I'm the American, and I just wanted to talk about it. Timalo, 2 cents on in the first place while I'm here. Maybe help me flush out some more ideas. But so I mean, being American, and I'll be honest that I've had very conflicting emotions about me and my country ever since a little kid, and knowing the history of. First, I'll say that okay, so my father was a veteran. My uncle is a veteran. My uncle went to Vietnam twice. You know what I mean? He had 90% disability. If you're in the military or you're a military family, you know how hard it is the every gate. 90% disability. You almost had to be like just a STEM. Hearing me, and so I'm a military kid too. So I was around in the military bases growing up. You know what I mean? I was ROTC, you know, and yeah, it's conflicting because in reality, like a lot of people that look like me that have stood up to advocate for my freedom, my justice, and my equality, um, were attacked by by U.S. government and murdered by the U.S. government or done something bad to them as a whole. We could go down the list, but not only that, like Tuskegee, how they poison my people with syphilis and gonorrhea. There's so many things: slavery, Jim Crow, segregation. So there's a lot of reasons for me to have a problem with my country. You know what I mean? Also, this like I'm not from, they call me African American. I have African genes. My descendants are from Africa. My descent is King Ramsey. They looked at it as King Ramsey. I'm the paternal lineage of King Ramsey. So that's, but I'm from here. I'm Lonnie the Fifth. I have 5 generations of Lonnie from America. So I'm American. You know what I mean? And also, so I have like but also a lot of my heroes are American. You know what I mean? Uh, Muhammad Ali, Dr. J, Huey Newton, Marcus Garvey. Like the list goes on and on and on of these black people that are Americans that fought or did are or they represent America. Tupac. I mean, I can go, the list is on. Goes on and on and on and on. So I have conflicting feelings about it, but I love. But my heroes are from here. I'm from here. We represent this. This is what, regardless how my backyard looks, it's my backyard. You know what I mean? So, and I it didn't really like. I'm a I'm a patriot, but I don't like to be like a patriot like those patriots because those patriots are like they're connecting white supremacy and American nationalism together, which are, you know, I can't agree with because I'm black. But I didn't realize how patriotic I was until I've traveled abroad, you know what I mean? Like gone out to all these other places. Then I start first the slander, like anyone say anything about America, it gets under my skin, like, watch your mouth, watch your mouth, watch your mouth. And I mean, like, I could say something, people from here, we could talk about it, but you're not from here, so shut your motherfucking mouth. But also, it also came to fruition for my identity during this whole TikTok ban. It'd be like what? First of all, like, because they banned America from TikTok, and then there all these other countries are now that the Americans are gone. I can say this. One white lady from South Africa said she can say the word colored without having any stress about it, with peace. The English dude said that now I can eat my beans and toast without being bothered. And Australia is like, and the Canadians, and you know what? I'm American. I don't give a fuck what you guys think. You know what I mean? We don't give a fuck. I'm just speaking for me. I won't. I know that it connects to resonates with us because we're all. First of all, I grew up all around the United States in different schools, all around the United States. So I kind of got the gist of how we feel, as in that we all were raised in the same thing, and so we all had the same like feelings about things. And one of the American sentiments that I can always say is this: fuck you. You know what I mean? Like that's us. You know what I mean? Like if you don't like us, like we'll what you know you have a problem. What you trying to tax us? Let me kick that T into the. You know what I mean? Like anything like you'd have a problem with us. And I'm up for anytime you have a problem with this. Fuck what you talking about. You know what I mean? Like do something. You're gonna be this America. That's why I like you. Like my country's different than your country because you know what I mean. Like in our heads, like this is it. There's someone that Moen was like one of from the Canada was saying, American asked her, did you guys get taught in school that we were number one? And she's like, no. Why did you get taught that? And I don't know if it was taught that we're number one, but we're told that we're number one, and that's what we're riding with. And until like we still have, we're not ridiculous. If there's someone out there that has something that's better than us, I'll bring it forth. All I know is that whatever is good where you're from, you're gonna bring it here, and then we're gonna be a judge if it's good. And if it's good, it will bring it right into the culture because one of us, the shit that you know what I mean. We like, oh, the pizza's not the same. American pizza. Ooh, this is something new. You know what I mean? Yeah, that we eat spaghetti like this. We're not the same. We took what you guys did. You brought it over here. We need to run over there trying to take it. And I, even all this kind of talk, I started realizing that maybe this is how white supremacy feels. You know what I mean? Like, I don't give a fuck about what you think. You know what I mean? Until you could beat me, I don't care. And I feel bad that I'm like how I feel about this kind of aligns with white supremacy. Yeah, okay, but I mean, a bear and me both eat foods. Just because we have the safeties that come doesn't mean we're the same people. You know what I mean? Like, but I get the point, you know what I mean? I don't give a fuck. This is America. If we're the land home of the free, you know what I mean? Like, get the fuck room of the wet. All the shit that we got going on, yeah, that's one thing. But watch your mouth. Watch your mouth. Watch your mouth when you talk about America. And when we say America, we're talking about here. We're not talking about South America. You know what I mean? It's Captain America. He's not Captain Brazil. He's not Captain Mexico. He's Captain America. United States. Not Captain Canada. Canada? Alright, you shouldn't even say anything. You know for his respectfully. You have nothing to say about this. Australia, with the spiders and the snakes, island full of prisoners. Pause. Watch your mouth. Watch your mouth. England. I'm part.
This one is about the stories I don't talk about, and this one's about my Uncle Vay. My Uncle Vay, I would want to talk about it, but then I don't talk about it. My Uncle Vay is my mom's brother, and there was four of them. And before I was born, my Uncle Vay was the oldest. He's the oldest of my mom and there's four of them, but there's my aunt, then my Uncle Vay, my Aunt Andra, Uncle Vay, and then my mom Precious, and then my Uncle Alfred. And my Uncle Vay was the older of my mom and him, and they were like, before I was born, they were tight, I guess. You know what I mean? So my mom's, this is a story that I was told, and then so my mom says that when she was little, there used to be like a little rumor going around that, or not even a rumor, that people would, my mom and them were poor. So when you're from this inner city and you're poor, the dozens and all that. So she said sometimes there would be rumors that my Uncle Vay was gay, and it would be going around and stuff, right? She didn't like see anything. And then, so I guess one time there was a party, and then my Uncle Vay wanted to go to it, and my grandma was working. So my Uncle Vay took the car, either her car or someone's car. He took the car and he went to the party. And I guess while he was at the party, he got into the car and he backed it up and backed into a light pole. And the light pole came down on the car, and it hit him. And my uncle was in a coma for 2 months, and they called my family, called my mom, called my grandma, and they need to come to the hospital. This is before I was born. And so they came to the hospital. When they said they came to the hospital, they seen Uncle Vay. He was in the bed, and he was lying in the bed dressed in women's clothes. And but he's in a coma, you know what I mean? So you can't even talk to him. So he was in the coma for 2 months. And then when he finally got out of the coma, he was paralyzed all the way down the side of his body, right? And I don't know. I'm not sure how. I guess he came out. He's gay. You know what I mean? He confessed, I guess. By the time I showed up, in those times, not in those times, in these times, but in those times, the black community, they weren't homophobic. It's just like, I don't know how you say it. It wasn't like it's not embraced. That's the only way I could say it. And so even in our family, it wasn't embraced. But my uncle was a gangster. You know what I mean? He had been out there, and you had to, like, if you're gay in those times, you had to fight your way. You know what I mean? So he had to learn how to fight and be like a gangster. And I think that he was a gangster before he got hit in the before he got in the accident. And then so he started living his life. I would see him come around, and I see my family like kind of make fun, because sometimes he would come over like, "This is my husband. We about to get married." And him and my mom were close, and I was my mom's first baby. So my uncle, that he kind of gravitated to me. I was kind of like, you can't have kids. This is kind of like your kid, and also it's my sister's kid. So he really loved me. He treated me with nothing but respect my whole time. You know what I mean? And so he's out there. He would come visit all the time, but they're not really messing with him like that. He's Vay's on that crazy shit. And so one time I came back, and when I came back, I was just sitting in the yard, and he had walked up, and he was like, "Count." That's what they call me in my family, like, "Count." And I was like, "Damn, that's my Uncle Vay." So I brought him into the house, and everyone came. He's like, "I'm getting married again," and they was just laughing and stuff. But later, my Uncle Vay, he had, sometimes people be stabbing him up and shit. He had got HIV, and they had people that were cutting him, and this is still like in the 80s and 90s and late 90s, and like people were mistreating him. And like, I'm in Alaska, right? So all I just hear is about, like, sometimes he'll call like he's been cut up, he needs some money and stuff like that. And it used to be sad to me, you know what I mean? I can't do anything. And he had passed away, and he passed away alone in like a room by himself and stuff. And like, it would make me mad, because like, regardless of how you feel about how my uncle sexual orientation. Like, he's still my uncle, you know what I mean? And people like mistreating him and shit like that and doing weird things. And I know other people are come from families that can understand, like, you know what I mean? Regardless of how you feel. Even regardless, before, I didn't really understand it. And even it's not even for me to understand. Like, because now in hindsight, I started thinking, like, maybe my uncle was probably trying to be trans and try to come out and transition, but maybe he didn't have the good safe space and all that stuff, that he was in a room. He was dressing like a woman before, but I wish he was like in this era where he can feel like a little bit more free. But then, like, it made me mad, like like people that mistreated my uncle, you know what I mean? So in my head, as I move around, I try to make sure, like, you stabbing, making fun of my uncle, like, I don't want anyone else to feel like my uncle had to feel, you know what I mean? So, like, I don't like people bad talking gay people to me. I don't like any of that slander shit, you know what I mean? I take it personally too, you know what I mean? And not even, like, even if we're like friends, if you keep going on about it a lot, first of all, I'll try to correct you from the door, because, like, I'm not the guy, you know what I mean? Like, I take it personal, you know what I mean? Like, I hear you doing that. To me, it just reminds me of motherfuckers mistreating my uncle, and I be wanting to, like, I be trying to be peaceful, you know what I mean? So I just try to avoid people like that, or I'll try to check you. But, you know, I'm in cultures like hip-hop and some of the black community, not all of it, but some that are homophobic. And even me, it's taken me a lot. I'm a human being, you know what I mean? So it's taken me a lot to understand. But even me learning to understand, what I did understand is that I want to have a safe space around me where motherfuckers don't have to feel like they're terrible or mistreated. What difference does it make who my uncle loves? That's not your fucking business. What difference does it make what my uncle does in the bedroom? Mind your fucking business, dog. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if there's like some guy who doesn't want to love my uncle, like, I don't want to be a part of any of that. That's not something I want to be a part of. If y'all don't have any love for my uncle, then what kind of view? Why do I care what you think? You see what I'm saying? So, like, I take that shit kind of personal. I don't like to talk about it a lot because that's inside here, you know what I mean? I'm stepping on other people's toes. It's not my place to stay, but this is my place personally. Like, doing all that weird shit. And I've met a few dudes, I liked them, and then they started saying weird shit about gay people, and I'm just like, nah, I can't be your friend, you know what I mean? And I who cares whatever people think? It's not about, yo, it's been a minute. Yo, sorry, I have been doing like a lot of personal stuff, working on my acting. But tonight's my story. My question is, where did your family go on vacations? And what is your most memorable vacation? And I started thinking about it, and the truth is that as a kid, I was born in Chester, right? So it's outside of Philadelphia, right outside of Philadelphia. And it's like a real city, like city. But then as a kid, my dad and my mom, we just started traveling all over the United States as a kid. Like, I've been almost to every state, and just like, when I say travel, I mean like go there. I don't know why we're doing it for a long time. I still haven't figured it out. My dad going for jobs and all kind of stuff, but we would just drive from. We lived in Jersey, but when we were driving, like, we would stop in these places. That was in the times when you drive in, first you always like, welcome to so and so, but then you also have those places where you can stop, and then we all pose by some type of landmark or some state status, and just like all over the United States, like Montana, Utah, all over the Midwest, Iowa, Idaho, Texas, Mississippi, New Orleans, just the gamut. Mexico, Washington, just, you know what I mean? And this is as a kid, and most of it is just like in a tiny car, and it's just the four of us, and we're driving all over these places. We get out, I got used to like going to rest stops and Best Westerns and all the hotels and motels. Like even, it was so much like I started getting excited about wherever we're gonna go. Like we're gonna try the food. I'm gonna try the food in that place, in that area, and so we're always going to like some stop off and get like at a rest stop and have some food and stuff. And my sister, no matter where we go, will always, I want a cheeseburger. Now, we're in a Chinese restaurant. I want a cheeseburger. Like everywhere we go, it's like, come on, man. So having said that, that was why I don't think that we went on a lot of vacations. We were poor people at first anyway, so it wasn't like. So you don't do that. You work, you know what I mean? So, but then as I got older, my dad, after he became the general manager at Chi-Chi's, I think that's when he got a craving for like wanting more money, and we started moving up the ladder. And then I don't know what, maybe we were just going to visit, but I remember going to Florida and going to Disney World as a kid, as a family. And my family had some family friends that lived in Orlando, so it was like a twofer, you know what I mean? So we'd go see them, then we'll go to the Disney World. And I was a kid, you know what I mean? I was like such a Michael Jackson fan that I was just excited that I'm gonna be able to go to see Captain EO, because it was there at Epcot Center. And I don't know, I think I did see it, and I was like really disappointed, like what is this shit? Like, get hyped up about something, you go there, it's like, I like Space Mountain, and there's another one of the rides that was dope, but you know, the long lines, I was a kid. I remember I got a Mickey Mouse bat. I brought that back, and that was my kind of fame, my Mickey Mouse bat. But it was nice. And then yeah, so I don't think like as a family we didn't, you know, oh my bad, during the travels as a kid, my parents loved to gamble, so we would visit Vegas more than a lot of times. And it was back in the times, there was a time before when Vegas was not family friendly. Like there was a time when I was a little kid where like I could not be in the casino without like a parent around, and I'd be walking around like, no, where you going? And I'd just be out there, because you know they would just go off and like, what am I supposed to sit next to you? There was no like games or nothing like that. It was just all adults. It was like smoky places. Just if you watch National Lampoons when they went to Vegas, that's how it was. It was just like, it was not. I think it was like the end of the mob era, so it was just like they don't need any kids here. And my parents like, they can figure for themselves. You know what I mean? There's a lot of times in my life that my parents automatically thought, even though you're a little person, you should behave like an adult all the time. You know what I mean? So like, they would just take you in place and expect you to just act like it, or you're gonna get beat the fuck up. So that's just what it was. You know what I mean? So I seen that a lot. I seen a lot of shit. Grand Canyons, all the wonders of the United States. I would just totally see, like, and especially it was like Alaska, that's another one. Utah, like another one. Like Montana, like all these places. Hawaii, going to all these places like the Niagara Falls, the Grand Canyons. As a kid, I come from the city, so like all this, I thought it was corny, number one, but number two, I was aware that I'm blessed to have this opportunity to see all these things. You know, even when I was in Alaska, like I was aware, because I'm not from Alaska, that like a kid like me, before I even went back, that I knew that this is something that my friends where I'm from, they would never ever be able to, like, this is like, you would never think of anything like this. You know what I mean? And that was the thing that like, and I think also that was something that my dad wanted to put on me, and my mother too, that like the opportunities, I want you to be able to take advantage of the opportunities. And no matter, like, they're gonna put things on you, but even those things on you, you should still like reach for the stars, you know what I mean, for all, you know what I mean, like, my dad, like I said, my dad was like a cook, and then he worked his way up to be a therapist, you know what I mean, and like, anything's possible. And that was always in my household. Like, if you were talking about someone stopping you, my dad said one monkey doesn't stop the show. And that's I always keep in my mind. Like, it doesn't matter what other people think about you. That was another thing he really pressed on me. Like, it doesn't matter what other people think about you. Stop worrying about what other people think about you. And, you know, I hold that one dear to me now. Like, who cares what you think about me? I don't think highly of you enough for me to care.
Yes. Wait, before we do that, let's get chip chat right now, and then, yes, copy that.
You know about it.
Get chip chat.
All the way alive. All the way. Oh, you trying to take the rosary beads, girlfriend?
Jesus was trying to call me.
What does Jesus got to do with it? Leave Jesus out of it.
Rolling.
You should do the surgery, but that's just my opinion.
You want to step back before saying that. You're putting your pressure on her to make a decision. You got to step back prior to the last line to let her know she's by herself.
Okay.
Step back from what should I do?
What should I do?
You should protect your family as a whole. You should do the surgery. That's just my opinion.
There you go. Nice work, guys.
All right, that's a cut. Good work, guys. All right. You too.
Okay, so whenever you're ready, no rush, just whenever you're feeling right, Arlenis, and then we'll take it from your unicorn line, Lonnie. And action.
Yeah, and maybe they'll ride in on a unicorn. I'm afraid finding a new viable donor is something we cannot realistically depend on.
Either I cripple one or I kill the other.
You won't be able to play baseball. That does not make him a cripple.
I gotta talk to Xander and Simon.
Simon already knows. That's why he doesn't want Sander to do it.
As opposed to a question. It makes it more of a finality. If it's a question, you're still debating.
Okay.
Really make it a finality to it.
Okay.
And maybe they'll ride it here on a unicorn again, Lonnie. And action.
Yeah, and maybe they'll ride in on a unicorn. I'm afraid finding a new viable donor is something we cannot realistically depend on.
Either I cripple one or kill the other.
You won't be able to play baseball. You gonna wait?
Make your plans with her if you can.
So either I cripple one or I kill the
Okay,
other.
can we, sorry, you're doing great. Let's see the line before that so we can get led into that.
Okay.
The blood thinners.
Or
Is that the
He
line?
doesn't. He won't be able to play baseball. It doesn't make him a cripple.
Oh.
Right.
Yes.
And then.
Alright, so you're gonna do
No. Prior
No.
to that?
Is that past it?
No.
before that, right?
Okay, so he wants, I believe finding a viable new donor isn't something we can realistically depend on.
Oh.
We go from there. Okay, everyone's set?
Set.
And action.
Yes. Maybe they'll ride in on a unicorn. I'm afraid finding a new viable donor is something we cannot realistically depend on.
So either I cripple one or kill the other.
You won't be able to play baseball. That
One more time. Try to pose it.
Xander has a cold. They said that the antibiotics would clear it up in a week. He doesn't need a heart surgery.
well, he'll be heartbroken over his dead brother if we don't do this. Sander's infection in his mitral valve rules him out as a donor. He needs a heart valve replacement to ensure that the marrow is healthy enough to give the Simon. Remove the valve, IV the infection, target and destroy.
Target and destroy. This isn't a damn video game.
You said that Simon has less than 4 days. 4 days. How are you gonna clear Xander's system in time?
We don't have to. We have to clear the marrow after the surgery. We'll harvest the marrow, marinate it in a targeted antibiotic, simmer and serve.
And that'll work.
If you want both kids to live, this is the only option.
A heart surgery.
Due to the valve replacement, Xander will be placed on blood thinners to prevent any potential clots.
Okay. I mean, that's fine, right? Xander said he'd do anything for his brother. For how long?
Forever. Xander will never again be able to play contact sports for the risk of hemorrhage.
What about the marrow registry? I mean, maybe they'll find a match. We still have some time, right?
Yeah, and maybe they'll ride in on a unicorn. I'm afraid finding a new viable donor is something we cannot realistically depend on.
So I either cripple one or kill the other?
You won't be able to play baseball. That does not make him crippled.
One more time on that, Omaze. One more time. Lonnie, give her a little more.
Alright. Can you see the cross, Elsa?
No.
Alright.
Damn it. This is how I was holding it earlier. You want me to hold it
Okay, we're
differently?
good then. Never mind. Here we go. And okay, and action. Action. Action.
You know, the ironic thing is that Simon's content on dying if it means that Xander will finally be in the spotlight.
How is my son dying ironic?
Well, if Simon doesn't do the marrow transplant, then Xander will forever be in his bigger brother's shadow.
Well, why wouldn't he do the marrow
Older bro
transplant?
gives his life so younger bro can finally be on top. How do you think Xander's gonna feel knowing that Simon is only the best because my bad, can I try it one
Sure.
more time?
How's my son dying ironic? Is that a clear spot?
Yes.
Lane? Stand by for this plane.
Clear.
Cool. Here we go. And action.
How's my son dying ironic?
Well, if Simon doesn't do the marrow transplant, then Xander forever be in his bigger brother's
Why
shadow.
wouldn't he do the transplant?
Older bro gives his life so younger bro can finally be on top. How do you think Xander's gonna feel knowing that he's only the best because the real best died for him to succeed? It's kind of like the Jesus on the cross fate. Xander, little bro's bone marrow is a perfect match, and the only real chance for Simon, bigger bro, to live. Younger bro needs an open heart surgery, and we need your consent now.
Xander has a cold. They said that the antibiotics would clear it up in a week. He doesn't need a heart surgery.
He'll be heartbroken over his dead brother if we don't do this. The infection in Xander's mitral valve rules him out as a donor. We need to do an open valve replacement.
Get back so it's clean. Can you lead him in?
What was that like?
Does Xander has a cold?
Cold.
Does
Okay.
And action.
Xander has a cold. They said that the antibiotics would clear it up in a week. He doesn't need a heart surgery.
He'll be heartbroken over his dead brother if we don't do this. The infection in Xander's mitral valve rules him out as a donor. He needs a valve replacement just to clear to make sure his marrow is healthy enough to give to Simon. We remove the marrow, IV the infection.
Remove the valve. It's okay. Try one more time.
You
Remove
guys
the
are
valve.
fine. You're both in a good spot. Stay connected.
Remove the valve, IV the infection, target and destroy. You guys are doing great. Okay, one more time from the same place, and action.
He needs a valve replacement.
Wait, sorry.
So same place, yeah, on you, Artem.
Okay.
Scene 2 Alpha, take 1. Mark.
Good sleep.
Sorry, before we roll, can we just make sure that I didn't
I can't heal your kids, but I'm gonna make a funky beat tonight. It's gonna save their lives. How about that? Yo, that is insane. This is a prescription for funk and synthesizers. Oh my god. Yo. We know.
know your client?
Hey, just a fair warning on this guy. Star right now.
Yeah,
man.
I feel like I'm ready.
Don't worry, I wouldn't ever. I never
Also,
do
your
that.
time code still matches, correct? Because we
Yes.
never turned it off, but okay, cool. Thank you.
I feel like this is good. And then, what else? Is there anything else? I'm trying to think of anything else.
I'm just gonna I'm gonna like
Oh, more to your left.
So I'll just start down here and then come so that everybody can see and come through the door.
Yes,
Yeah,
exactly.
okay.
Perfect.
So-
Thank you. All right.
But just remember, your whisper can be, you know,
Oh yeah.
it's the acting whisper.
Yes.
So I'm about to whisper to you, but it's still very loud. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So it's still gonna pick you up. But
Yes.